I read a lot. I love reading. And the latest book that I've read that has really made me think a lot about relationships, about, you know, growing old, and it's a really pessimistic sort of look on the relationships. The book is called The Woman Destroyed by Simone. I'll put it here, I think, the book. But it's The Woman Destroyed, and it has really made me think certain things. Like, can someone really trust one's memory? Can we really? Because after some certain time, of course, our memory gets distorted. And I guess it also depends on how we're feeling. So at that moment, and we sometimes we remember things a certain way because it's how we want to remember it. It's what we want to believe. And the book is great because it talks about losing. I'm talking mostly about the last. There's 3 novellas, but the last one is the most important and the most interesting. It's about a woman losing her own identity because her central figure in life, her whole meaning of life, her whole meaning of existence has been her husband and the kids. Such an interesting read, and it really makes me think, you know, about myself in the past, mistakes I've made, how I felt, and I really understood, like, I myself have lost identity in the past, completely lost myself. I'm happy that I've learned it at such a young age, dealing with that, you know, rather than if you lived with someone like she has for, you know, over 20 years, and only later to realize that were all these years a lie. Like, if your husband is having an affair and has stopped loving you, like, something changed 10 years ago. So have you been living a lie this whole time? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, it's really interesting. Another thing, that intelligence withers if it is not fed. It's a quote from the book. This is something I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of not using my full potential, my intellect. I'm afraid of it withering away. I've seen people close to me that have really changed. Something has affected them. It has really changed them, who they are. And you can no longer have that connection with them. You can no longer have the same relationship with them. And you see, what I do a lot is I look at certain people, where they are, what they've gone through, and I see what options they chose in life to get where they are now. And with people, I can see that if you're not stimulating your mind, if you're not eager to continue learning, to grow, you will devolve. Your brain will shrink and you will become less intelligent over time. Especially as you grow older, it's harder for you to learn new things. Okay, I'm back. I've got a friend here. I've got a doggy, so if you hear something, I've got a friend here. But yeah, I've just been saying about intelligence that I'm, you know, afraid of it withering away. So I'm putting a lot of effort into learning as many new skills, as many new topics that are of interest to me. I really want to always stimulate my mind to continue growing, to continue evolving. I want to take up on a lot of new sports, maybe take up on a new language. I speak 3 languages already, and perhaps I've been dabbling in Italian, so I'd like to maybe continue with Italian, learning more Italian, just picking up a new language for, you know, to stimulate my mind, to continue growing. And I've seen people, I have people in my family as well who are over 80, like from my aunties, my uncles, that are over 80, and their mind is in perfect condition. They're in perfect condition. They go swimming, they go to these different clubs, you know, they're stimulating their minds. That really made me think about the next steps for myself and how I want to be when I'm older, you know, and look at different people in my life that are older and what lives they had, where they are now. Okay, but I've gone a little bit off the topic. So the book is about, you know, losing that identity, and but she kept saying, my worst, like another quote, my worst mistake has been not grasping that time goes by. So she's been living in this kind of, again, this delusion, thinking everything is fine. She wasn't really questioning anything, you know, or evolving herself. She didn't have a job. The only centric figure in her life was her husband and that love for her husband. But he was all that she had, and the kids. She didn't have any external things or external identity of who she was without the kids and without the husband, who she was as a woman, as a person herself. And that is so important. Again, to have identity, to have your own identity, to love yourself first before allowing someone else in your life. You need to be aware of who you are on your own, by yourself. You have to be okay with being on your own, to have your own identity, to be your own person, to have your own likes, to have your own hobbies, to have your own friends. You need to have your own identity before you can invite someone else into your life, because if you don't have that, or if you don't have the sense of self, the same issue might happen. What happened with me? You might lose your whole identity by idolizing that person that you have with you, idolizing that love, and putting them above yourself, putting them on a pedestal, giving them that control, which you will realize with time that it's a mistake. You should never do that. You should first fill up your own cup and love yourself more, and have that self, that identity, to know yourself. Another thing that made me think, like I'm telling you, it's a pessimistic novel. A quote from her: "Your fault was believing that true love could last." Again, like that makes me question things. Is true love real? Like, is it possible? Or, you know, already nowadays it's so rare to see people that have been together for a long time or that are happy together. I have that sort of figure that I would look up to in my life, my family, and they really loved each other, my auntie and uncle. I admire that, you know, my sister, we admire them because they had such strong love for each other. I think they were with each other their whole lives, and that love, that respect, it never faded. And living in this world, it makes you realize how rare that is, how rare it is to find that someone. And will you be able to love them for the rest of your life? Of course, it's not going to be the same love as you're in love with a person, but you will have, you know, love for them. And I don't know, it makes me think about the future, you know, first of making that mistake potentially of having a partner that you're not connected to such a level. I think you need to find that person that you really are connected, that you really love, appreciate. It's about compatibility of your values together, of that respect, which is so important. But of course there's fear of the unknown, of the future, of making that love last. Like, can it last? You know, living with a person for so many years and then to have it all, to throw it all away. Again, I see it around me. So that again makes me think, you know, how important it is to find the right person for you. My SD card is full, so I have to finish it on my phone. I hope the quality is not too bad and you can hear me. But yeah, basically I was just being pessimistic and pondering about the thought of true love and love that lasts. I think especially now a lot of people think that the grass is greener on the other side, or they think that there's so many options out there just because of social media, just because of dating apps. You know, that's not really the case. And finding something true, finding someone who has those strong values, family values, and this love, it's difficult to find nowadays. Definitely it's difficult to find someone who wants something serious. And not just that, someone who is willing to not give up on that love, to not give up on that person so easily. Because again, as I said, people think they have so many options, so they're not willing to fight for anything, just a minor inconvenience, and they want to leave, they want to go on to the next, because I think that there's so many possibilities. So I think that's another topic for another day, but it's again sad to see where this world is going and what is happening in regards to that. And it's rare to find someone, but once you do find it, you have to keep it. You have to admire them. You have to really put in work. It's not going to be rainbows and sunshine. And communication is so important, to have that honest, open communication. Just being honest with each other is just really important. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, about the topic. The Woman Destroyed. This is a really great book, honestly. It's a really great book. I did not expect it to make me question love so much, and myself, my intelligence, memories, all these things. It really makes you think. Like, I really encourage you to read that book. It will change your perspective. It will probably make you sad just thinking, because it's a quite pessimistic book on the look of love, but it's great. Honestly, it's amazing. So go read that book if you haven't. Tell me what you think if you have. Let me know down in the comments below. And I just hope that you have a wonderful day, afternoon or night, wherever you are. And I hope to see you in the next video.